Hey y'all, this is my review for the Real Housewives of Miami. I did not forget. I'm doing 2 episodes back to back for this review. This is for episodes 11 and 12. I know they're on the reunion right now just because it's on a streaming platform and it's not must-see TV. I just get to it when I get to it. But I'm here now, so let's get into the episode. So we open up with a montage of what the ladies are doing. We see Alexia, she's at physical therapy for her son. We're with Julie and those damn chickens now, and we see her flirting on the phone with Adriana. And now we're with Marisol, who's having a little get together. So she invited Adriana and Kiki over. Kiki just looks so good. I love her hair like this. And side note, it's not nighttime yet, obviously, but enjoy the little late afternoon glare. I apologize for this if it's bothering your eyes. Marisol's face is just so interesting. I can't pinpoint what she reminds me of. I'm really curious of what she looked like in her childhood. And look at Adriana. She actually looks good, and I love this dress she's wearing. If she would just cinch that waist, because she kind of have like what do they call it? Like hog body. So Marisol gathered the ladies to talk about Alexia's bachelorette party coming up. Oh right, it's supposed to be at the Versace Mansion. It's been so long since I've seen episode 10, y'all. So we're on the topic of Nicole, and Marisol still got beef with this chick. I think she's just jealous that Nicole got a full-time, what do you call it from Miami? A mojito. And speaking of Nicole, next scene we're with her meeting up with Lisa for lunch. It looks like Lisa just came back from a vacation in Europe with her husband, and it looks like he doesn't love her. From these clips, it looks like he actually was tolerating her, and he looks like he's having a good time. So they're just talking about the upcoming bachelorette party, and of course Nicole is not here for Marisol, and it looks like she's ready for next time Marisol tries to come for her. So next scene we're with Alexia and her fiance, and they're overlooking the venue for their wedding. It's on this beautiful yacht. Alexia looks good, contrary to what y'all be saying. Of course we got my girl Gertie joining Alexia because she's planning the wedding. She just always has it right with the fashions. Ooh. Alexia lets us know that this is going to be her 3rd wedding and her fiance's 2nd. So next scene we're with Julia and Adriana, the happy couple. Let's see how Julia's going to commit adultery this episode. So they're having conversations about their kids. Julia, both her daughters are going abroad. One daughter's going to Germany and the other daughter's going to France. They're very close in age and they have 2 different dads. Now, I'm not judging, but I'm just like, wow. It looks like she got pregnant with one daughter and then the next year she got pregnant with a different person. I mean, again, no judgments. I'm just like, huh, interesting. We also get a little background with Adriana. She's a divorcee. She's talking about her son, who's now 22. She's more likable in this episode. Last episode, I could not stand her. I do not understand how Julia's wife, Martina, can watch this and not want to kick Adriana's ass. So it just started raining and they just decided to just stay in the rain. And you have Adriana, it looks like she's like professing her love to Julia. You taught me about love and how it has no gender. What, girl? I mean, are you in love with her? Are you coming out? What's going on? Their relationship reminds me of my best friend who has an inappropriate relationship with a friend who has a man already. Now look, I'm all for open relationships and non-monogamy, but in the beginning of the season, Martina made it clear that, you know, they're not in an open relationship. So this is inappropriate. I'm sorry. So next scene we're with Larsa. Totally forgot she was on this show, and she's looking at houses yet again. 7,000 square feet with 6 bedrooms and 7 baths. Must be nice. She's having first world problems with her housing situation. I don't give a damn. Fast forward. Ooh, by the way, I'm loving this backdrop right now. Next scene, we're with Alexia and her son, and they're just discussing the family feud that they had a few episodes back earlier in the season. They're reflecting and they're just glad they got over that hump. Meanwhile, we hear from Alexia in her confessional that her mom's health is taking a turn for the worse. Alexia has definitely had a difficult season, and hopefully, if Real Housewives of Miami is picked up again, I hope that she has a very easy season with minimal drama. Cause I'm like, damn, this woman definitely deserves some good things happening to her, unless she's cursed. Next scene is the day of Alexia's bachelorette party, and it's at the Versace Mansion. It looks like Marisol listened to horny Kiki after all and got that big ass penis pinata. And of course production had to let us know how much a night at the Versace Mansion, one of the expensive suites, costs, and it's $2,000 a night. I'm looking at these rooms and they are gaudy as fuck. I mean, I get it's Versace, but it's just so, it's so loud. We see all the ladies arriving, and it looks like Marisol told them that it's a Versace theme, so all the ladies have to wear Versace. They all look good. This season, like, the fashions are on point, with the exception of Adriana. So then for some reason, some of the ladies are talking, and Marisol comes up to Nicole, and Nicole says, basically, fuck that bitch. She really doesn't care to have a friendship with Marisol. She might as well be invisible. So they all go downstairs for dinner, and I gotta say, Marisol planned the fuck out of this. Like, everything just looks so grand and expensive. We see Lisa talking to Alexia at the dinner table, just asking her a very invasive question about like how many times a week does her husband and her have sex. And Alexia, I mean, she don't really care. She tells her, maybe 3 to 4 times a week. Lisa's face is like shocked. She's like, oh wow, well, me and my husband is maybe once or twice if we're lucky. Girl, once or twice? I think he's cheating on you, dear. I mean, once or twice a week? I mean, I can see if y'all were like getting into y'all 60s, but I think they're like Generation X. Like, she has to be like in her mid-40s. Does the sex dry up that early? I would say 4 to 5 if it's a new couple. 3 to 4, I guess that's average. I just know way back when I was in a relationship a long time ago, I would say it would be at least 4 times a week. And I knew that there was trouble because it went down from 4 times a week to 2 times a week to none. And yeah, and that's when we broke up. But enough of Chris's business. Later on, Alexia lets the ladies know that her mom just got hospitalized with COVID, and her wedding is like next week. And unfortunately, we do know that Alexia's mom died, I believe, on her wedding day. So yeah, I guess we're gonna see all that unfold on the next episode. So then the topic of conversation changes, and I'm just like, oh Lord, here we go. Lisa lets all the ladies know, well, I think we should take this time out to resolve our differences and put everything out there on the table. I mean, come on. We know the first person to speak up, and it's Marisol, and then she approaches Nicole about, oh, I hear that you're talking about me. I hear from people that you're complaining about our relationship. Nicole lets her know that somebody brought up their relationship to her, and she said that she tried to talk to her and smooth things over, but she walked away. Marisol wants to say, well, you know, I just don't care. That's the thing. You're the one that keeps harping on this. Nicole gets her right and says, sweetie, I really don't care. The only time I talk about you is if someone brings it up. I honestly think Marisol is being kind of a bitch. Like, it's a real petty reason why they're fighting in the first place. I'm not sure why they can't just move on. So their back and forth is at a stalemate right now, and the ladies change the subject by giving a toast at the table. So then Julia stands up, and then she lets the ladies know, well, since we're on the topic of hashing things out, she says that, well, there's just one person here where I just feel like I just can't connect to. And it turns out to be Larsa. And she finally tells her how she feels about that comment she made to Nicole about having a child out of wedlock. And cut to Larsa in her confessional, calling Julia basically a follower and is just wondering, where did this come from? She thinks that Adriana, her best friend and butt buddy, put a battery in her back to come at her. So then Larsa's trying to talk to Julia and try to defend herself, but then Adriana inserts herself in the conversation and tries to contradict what Larsa was telling Julia. And then Larsa snaps right back and says, well, actually, I was helping Julia when she was sick at my place. You tried to just give her a Xanax. So then now they're both going at it with each other. And now Adriana's telling her that Larsa thinks she's better than everybody. She moved to LA and became Kim Kardashian's minion. I swear, I'm tired of Adriana trying to name drop Larsa's famous friends, whether it be Kanye West or Kim Kardashian right now. It just seems a little desperate and thirsty. Between them, I'm on Larsa's side on this. We then see Larsa says it's just all in her mind right now. And then production fades to black and give us a to be continued. And thankfully, we're about to get into episode 12. So episode 12 continues and Larsa and Adriana are going at it. And Larsa peeps game what Adriana's trying to do. She says in her confessional that she keeps trying to bait her to talk about the Kardashians. It does look real thirsty on Adriana's part. And Larsa really has a poker face because she looks unfazed by it. Yeah, Adriana, you look real obsessive right now with her life. Like you know so much about her and now she's trying to bring up like, your husband's the celebrity, not you. And Larsa's like, well, who are you? Everybody's face at the table, they're just like, and then, I mean, Kiki is sat right next to Larsa. Like, her facial expressions are just gold. Alexia don't care what the hell these bitches talking about. She's like, why aren't y'all talking about me right now? This is my event. This is my night. Shut up. Ooh, Larsa is saying that Adriana, like, you used to be at a certain position and your stock just dropped and mine just got higher. Adriana again goes for the Kim Kardashian read. Girl, it's a weak read. It's not working. Oh, you came back to this group with the butt as big as Kim Kardashian, which you'll never be. Again, Larsa is in phase. She tells Adriana, I can break you down in 10 seconds. You're a liar, you're bipolar, you're an alcoholic. Every time I see you, you're drunk. Oh! Adriana then goes for the weak OnlyFans read and says, well, at least I don't sell my feet online for $5. Larsa comes right back. She's like, well, you look homeless, so I think you should. Damn, you have to call her fat Larsa. You could just say you got a hog body or something. So after that, Larsa just gets up and she excuses herself from the table. I think she's leaving. Well, damn, some dinner. So now Nicole gets up right after Larsa and says, well, I got my car parked down there. I gotta go to work in the morning. I'm gonna see y'all later. So she excuses herself too. Adriana then apologizes to Alexia for this argument, and Alexia says she don't care, but just don't do this shit at my wedding. So now that the dinner's over, the ladies are now doing the slumber party. Everybody gets into their pajamas, and I'm pretty sure they're about to play some bachelorette games. Oh, they wilding in the Versace Mansion. They got the strippers there too? Well, this man is shirtless, but I'm expecting him to strip. Okay, so now everyone's just eating penis-shaped things being shoved in everybody's mouths. Oh, so he was a stripper. Okay. And rude-ass Adriana, she's like, this is lame. As the stripper is right there. Damn. They did not just buy this big-ass penis pinata just to kick it around. Really? I don't think we're actually going to like play a game with it, but I mean, whatever. Fast forward. It is 1:30, 2 a.m. in the morning, and they are still going. Like, I guess they hired 6 guys in these yellow poom poom shorts, and they're just dancing with them now. These men are gay. It is now 4 a.m. in the morning, and the party is still going. I'm impressed. I mean, when you see these like Beverly Hills chicks or the Real Housewives of New York, like they end the night at like 11 p.m. So it's the next morning, now we're in Julia and Adriana's room. Adriana has Larsa on her brain first thing when she wakes up. She tells Julia how mean Larsa was. I think you inserted yourself in their conversation and you went at her and tried to, I guess, call her out on being Kim Kardashian, which is a low blow to her. And she got your ass. She got your ass together and walked out and left in her extremely expensive car. So the remaining ladies there go downstairs for brunch. Who is that waiter? Woo! Wow. I'm probably not gonna fast forward. I'm just gonna like just stare at him. Damn, they give a side view of this waiter and he has no ass. Never mind. Oh, so Larsa actually makes it to brunch. I guess she just didn't want to spend the night. And she came down the stairs unbothered. So they're talking at the table and Larsa says, oh, Alexia must have had a good night. She's quiet. And then Alexia says, well, actually, I'm just uncomfortable from what happened last night. A producer must have gotten to Alexia's ear because I'm surprised she even brought this up. Wow, Larsa is really coming for Julia right now. She's like, you haven't made any type of effort to get to know me either. Like, you've never called me. You never asked me to do anything. You've made no effort to get to know me or my family. Like, what do you want me to do? You want me to give you a lap dance? Julia, I mean, being the nice person she is, she's like, well, yeah, do you want a lap dance? I'm actually just intrigued because Julia always stays out the mess. So for her to be going at Larsa, like, I'm actually entertained by this. Ooh, okay. So now it's going left again, and Larsa brings up Adriana. She's like, well, that's the reason why we can't get along. And you're saying this whole wedlock comment. Like, what about the comment she said to me? That didn't bother you? Talking about my friend's husband? That didn't bother you? And then tells her to stay in her lane. Well, okay, Larsa, look who showed up to work on the last episode of the season. And Adriana keeping her mouth shut surprisingly this time. She must know that Larsa ready for that ass if she decide to. I guess I spoke too soon because now Adriana piped up when Larsa was getting a little emotional talking about her kids. Adriana tells her, nobody cares about your crocodile tears right now. You always go below the belt. And now we're back to the Larsa thinks she's better than us argument. The other ladies are just listening right now. Nobody's interjecting or coming to anybody's defense. This is so cringe. Like, Adriana is just so insecure. Like, why are you letting Larsa bother you that much? Like, now she's like saying her whole resume, I speak 4 languages, I went to Harvard. Like, why are you trying to prove yourself to this woman? I ain't got nothing to prove to a bitch I don't like. And then Larsa asks the whole table, does anybody think I feel superior to them? And everyone says no. And then Adriana says, well, you walk like you're superior with a stick up your fat ass. And then the whole table is just like, which really was uncalled for. Lord, they are still going at it, and Larsa's just making Adriana look more of a fool. It looks like everybody at the table is tired of Adriana's bullshit and they want to tell her shut the fuck up, but nobody wants to say anything. Anyway, now that the bachelorette activities are over, next scene we're with Nicole and we see her home life followed by Gertie's, and then we're with Julia, who's talking to her wife Martina. They're not really saying anything important, so I'm just gonna fast forward this. Next scene we're with Alexia, and she's having dinner with her family before the wedding. We find out that her mom won't be going to the wedding because she's so sick and her health hasn't gotten any better. Side note, this is a very filler-heavy finale, it seems. So now we're with Lisa and her husband that's not interested in her, and they're having this conversation. Her husband actually wants another kid. She's like, you're not here with the kids you have now. He just wants another kid for her to have, I guess, to keep her busy so he can probably cheat in peace. And she brings up to him that it's already hard for her to have kids in general. And he's like, why don't you just do IVF? And it's giving me flashbacks to Jenny's racist husband, how he didn't care like how hard it was for her to have a kid. He just wants a kid. He says his reasoning for having another kid, he just says 3 just sounds nice. Like, I really be wondering, like, what goes through these men's minds? Like, maybe they need to have a baby themselves or experience the pain of childbirth for them to understand what women go through with pregnancy. Next scene we're with Larsa and her family. She's talking to her sister about how the divorce papers still aren't signed yet. So then magically in this scene, she gets an email with the divorce papers that her ex Scotty just signed. So then on camera, she signs it and now she's officially single. We also hear that she sold her house for over $10 million and she needs to find a new house in 40 days and she's emotional about that. I mean, we are just moving along in this finale, y'all. So next, surprisingly, we have a scene with Marisol talking to Nicole on FaceTime. It turns out that they're putting their differences aside for Alexia because her mom is getting really sick right now. Now, Nicole works in the hospital and I'm guessing she's giving Marisol updates on Alexia's mom. It turns out that Alexia's mom was sent home for hospice care because they couldn't do anything else for her. There's like a do not resuscitate, so whatever happens, happens. And I know this very well because this exact thing happened to my uncle. Like, they told him they couldn't do anything more for him, and now all they can do now for him is just keep him comfortable at his house. I just can't believe that Marisol and Nicole really squashed their beef. I really thought they hated each other. And then we find out that the wedding is supposed to be the following day. Now, whether it will happen or not is the real question. So next scene, we're at Gertie's place. It's the next day. It's the day of Alexia's wedding. It looks like she's postponing it because we hear Gertie like canceling everything and vendors. And then Gertie gets a text that Alexia's mom died. Her mom died on her wedding day. Well, what was supposed to be her wedding day. It is so sad. Like, Poor Alexia. I'm not sure what witch she pissed off, but this woman has to be cursed. Like, so many bad things has happened to her. Like, this is my first season of Miami being introduced to this woman, and I just feel so sorry for her. Like, God, please give this woman a break. And yes, the wedding is definitely postponed until further notice. So then the following day, the ladies decide to pay their respects to Alexia and her mom at Nicole's house. And as all the ladies are arriving, we get a small scene between Nicole and Marisol, and it looks like their beef is squashed. I mean, it sucks that Alexia's mom had to die for this to happen, but I'm happy for them that they're able to move on. Now, as all the ladies are arriving, we see Lisa in an electric lime green dress while all the other ladies are dressed in black. Like, how absent-minded can you be? I'm guessing they're all together paying their respects. All the ladies are together with the exception of Alexia. I think it's a really sweet scene, and it really showed the ladies coming together and putting aside their differences. This is a really sad finale, y'all. I really did not expect this. I was expecting, like, you know, some mess or something, but yeah, like everybody's just putting everything aside, you know, for the bigger picture. So as this is happening, we see Alexia in her confessional paying respects to her mom. Production then shows a few clips of her mom and shows a nice photo of her. We have 15 minutes left, and this might be the saddest finale in Housewives history. And next scene, it's the day of the funeral. It looks like all the other ladies are invited. The cameras didn't go inside the funeral. Instead, they have all the ladies posted outside of the yard. They're coming and meeting up, and they're all talking. The ladies are letting Alexia know that she has their full support, that the wedding is definitely going to happen, and when it does happen, it's going to be beautiful. So then after this scene, production fast forwards to 4 months later, and we see Alexia and her fiance talking to the family, and they're gonna plan on getting married in St. Bart's. They're just gonna elope. They're not gonna have this big old wedding. I don't think most of the wives went. We see that they finally tied the knot. And then we're going into the place cards, and then production lets us know that her son recently got arrested for a domestic violence charge. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Something is, if it's not one thing for Alexia, it's something else. We also find out that this is their third attempt trying to get married. The first time was in 2020 because of COVID. The second time, her mom died, and this is the third attempt. At least they finally got married. And then I think they show all the other ladies' place cards. The only thing that was important that stood out was Nicole, who is now engaged. I'm guessing her husband, you know, saw her being ridiculed, and he's like, what the hell? It kind of reminded me of the Jagged Edge song, we ain't getting no younger, we might as well get married. And that's it, y'all. That's season 4 of Miami. I enjoyed this season. It was cute. It was just enough episodes. It was on streaming, on Peacock. It was a cute season. And I think they definitely deserve a season 5. Like, this was a very enjoyable season. It did have a couple filler episodes, but I was entertained. Larsa, I complained about her like the entire season, and she finally decides to bring it the last 2 episodes. I would love to know y'all thoughts on the season. I know the reunion is already streaming now. Give me some time. I'm going to do episodes 11 and 12. I'm going to try to get to the reunion probably Tuesday, because tomorrow is Sunday and I have to do Candy's show as well as Salt Lake City Reunion Part 2. Anything else I have to say about the season? Yeah, I think this is a well-rounded cast. It was diverse without it feeling forced. I definitely think Kiki or Marisol should be bumped up to housewife and maybe replace Larsa, because they were both more interesting than Larsa. We definitely need Julia for balance. Adriana, definitely need her for drama. You could keep her as a friend of, though. And yeah, I'm satisfied with everybody else, but next season, for the love of God, Alexia, I hope she wins the lottery. Something good happens to this woman, because she deserves it. Anywho, y'all, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all for the next episode. Bye.